Hello and welcome back. Today we were playing mono white, but we were playing it in best one. I made a couple of changes for my best of 3 list to make it a little bit more palatable in best of 1, being the fact that we trimmed down on the laydown arms, even though this card is technically good in this deck, but we wanted to add an extra march for those Boris Convoke matchups where we can exile that token in response to them targeting it with the Gleeful Demolition. And I also got these temporary lockdowns into the main board. I got rid of the sideboard because there was only like 5 cards in there, so I was like, there's no point keeping that. But we also put in 2 main board temporary lockdowns, which have been incredibly nice. But we also have these Doorkeeper Thralls, which helps in that matchup as well. Our best matchups are creature decks in general, especially ones that rely heavily on having creatures in play. The worst matchup by far is definitely a control deck. I just knocked my cord out of my headphones, so that's very cool. But control is by far our hardest matchup, as you can kind of tell from the way our deck is built. We don't really have a whole lot of ways to kind of not lose to Jace. It's the beginning of the season. A lot of the aggro haste decks are coming out, so this deck is generally in the most well positioned it's probably going to be for the season, because most people are trying to grind as quickly as they can to get to their higher ranks. So this is a good deck to start off the season with. Let's go ahead and see how this deck does perform in the matchups. There we go. First, very cool hand, all playable, all castable. We'll keep. Oh, keep mono red. You are mono red. Welcome. I could march it, but I'm not going to. That seems like a waste of my time and theirs, so who knows? Who knows here? What am I supposed to exile? Maybe I just wait and then I just march this instead of using my laydown arms. Oh, didn't use Monstrous Rage? I was really hoping you would. Thought it'd be very cool if you used the Monstrous Rage. The best part about our deck in this matchup is our spells do indeed exile, and what a find to have. We set the Restoration to guarantee our land drop. I guess we can always do that next turn, right? And then use laydown arms. So let's just play the wedding announcement now. Made our land drop. Next turn we play Restoration, go grab that Plains, play it, and then lay down arms this Godric that's going to come in. This is all prediction, by the way. You ready? You ready for him? Ah! Kind of the same. Gonna exile the Squeeze, so let's just take the other creature out. Very confusing, I know. We also have a good play with the ossification here, if you don't know how it works with this Restoration of Enganjo. Exile you permanently. We can discard the ossification to the Enganjo, bring it back for free, attaching it to our Plains. And we can answer something semi-permanently. Definitely in the business of getting hit with a Monstrous Rage here, so let's block. Oh, okay. What you got for me? You playing more? You playing less? Got options? We're also looking to hold up his demo field to keep this Mistress Foundry in check. Do nothing here. Discard this. Trigger, bring the ossification back. And this is free. I don't know what their pause is. It has to be a burn spell, or this Foundry is holding priority and they have nothing in hand, so they're not really paying attention. Detach is tapped, which is kind of funny. Doesn't really matter. I take the 1, sure. And we'll just pass. Our wedding announcement will trigger. We'll make another 1/1. And then these also come in on our kind of big boys at 2/3s. We wait until this is declared as an attacker, by the way. We don't give them the extra mana. You can do it in combat if you'd like. I mean, honestly, if they're going to let me just block here, we're looking to drain a spell, and they give it to us. A clean call for us, and our opponent has had enough. Very cool. So good. We'll keep. We're on the draw, so we can try to keep this. Hand's necessarily not very good against, okay, that deck. Invoke. Just because they get really wide and ossification gets way less value. Oh, it's Boris Angels. Okay, we are fine then. Not necessarily like fine, but I feel like we have a much better chance with our hand than if it was Convoke currently. Obviously against Convoke we have a lot of draws, so we can get into like temporary lockdown or something like that. But with Angels, they're gonna go a lot slower here. They're gonna try to drain. We're just gonna keep exiling and doing our kind of whack shenanigans like that. Let's get this demo field down. Good. Destroy enchantment? Oh, I could blow up my own ossification. I was like, what is that about? Let's just get this off the battlefield. And then the next one we'll probably let go because we'll just have to Emperor or do something, or we can just play this Paragon. It won't quite have the mana to double shoot it. Who knows? They might even play Destroy Evil, so we do have to be careful of the fact that our ossifications could be vulnerable. Yeah, Ward 2. That's kind of what I was afraid of a little bit. We're just probably going to have to let that hit, or we can play a Paragon and kind of block it here, but I'm not that intrigued by that idea. Let's just play another Plains here. I'm a little intrigued on what I should do. I kind of want to play the Paragon, actually. Yeah, let's play Paragon. We might just trade it off, but I'm not really into that. But if this keeps them from attacking me, I feel much better about it. And then I can just Emperor, like, exile it. If it attacks, I'll actually just let it through. Then Emperor Plus on it is very good. Here's Giada. That has Vigilance, so it's a little bit awkward. No blocks. They also have Lightning Strikes and Lightning Helixes, so we have to be careful of that. We don't want it to get completely burnt out. I messed up. I meant to blow up their land and then bring this back. I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of daydreamed there for a second. My own brain phased out. See what's up here. Yeah, they have a Helix or Lightning Strike, one of the two. I think they're just holding on to it to try to make sure they get value from it, or as much value as they can from it. Sure. Actually gonna get to do something kind of cool. It's gonna be a little bit lackluster, I guess. Am I willing to take 6 here? Not really. I can actually just exile this now. You just blow this up. Just let this through, and then we can Emperor exile it, I think. Nah. Could have flashed in the Doorkeeper Thrall to block it, but I'm looking to do this instead. Get this off the battlefield. Grab our Plains, play another land. We can play the demo field from the graveyard with the Paragon, which can gain us life. Play it. Play Emperor here.
Now you've done it.
Yes.
That's coming off.
Solve. Autopay. There it is. Now we hold. It's not like this can necessarily get through, and Lightning Strikes are very awkward, and Helixes are very awkward as well. One will probably get dedicated towards our Emperor here. Then we can start really attacking their mana base. Sure. Especially because apparently I need to deck then at some point. here.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Just need to deck thin. I know that much. We'll gain 2 life off of that. It's gone permanently, so it's not necessarily a big deal. Drawing a lot of lands here is not great, that's for sure. I'm curious if they're going to see Emperor's value now. I don't think that stops it, but I'm going to play this in just regardless. The Angel's going to be huge. Going to lightning strike this? Maybe they think it stops it. I don't think it does. This isn't enter the battlefield, but it's not like a triggered or ability or anything. Life gain? Life link? Go after Emperor. That's what I wanted. Can't really prevent a lot of what's happening regardless, so I'm gonna let that go. There's no reason for me to block here. And I'm just looking for a board wipe pretty much. Like, I don't care that they keep growing. I have so many board wipes in my deck that's important. Pop this. Again, making their mana a little awkward. Also, I can replay this and then blow up another land if I need to. Alright, not quite what I was looking for. And you're just gonna have to jump pretty much. Card does about nothing. Oh boy. Even a temporary lockdown's not the worst because it picks up Giada and this, but it's just so hard with what's on board right now. We play a Sokazon. I feel like playing this, like cycling the Sokazon might have been better. Could be wrong, but sure. Just 6. Sure, I'll block like this. Paragon is gaining me secretly a lot of life here. I think preventing 6 for 1 turn is way worse. So I'll get exiled. We gain 2. We only take 4 here. And then I can play Field of Ruin, blow up this Thran Portal or this Sokazon. But I'll leave the Thran Portal because it does do damage comparatively. Exactly what I'm looking for. Finally, bro. Field of Ruin. That's 6, so I'd be 4 left over. Sure. Blow up this Sokazon. In my life. Planes. Now, do I attack here? I think I attack and draw a card. I think that's more important. They play flyers, so it doesn't really matter. Get in there. Not like they could pay, give us lifelink, I guess, but it'll be gone. We attacked for the wedding announcement to draw a card. That's why we attacked. Trying to be very clear on that. Now we still have our 2 mana to bring this up. Of course, it's not as big, but yeah, exactly. Getting these farewells and things is so good. We might have weirdly stabilized, but it's going to definitely take a long time to get through this. I mean, this alone at 5 damage is just a long turn. But we know what that is. Sure. That's an angel. I am going to bring this up. Sure, they can exile it. I'm not that opposed to it. I can turn it up at any time, right? Yep. And then when they try to target, I can get lost it. So it's not even like that big of a deal. I'll pay my ward too. It goes underneath it on the target. Unless it's so weird. Because some things are like, oh, I targeted, therefore I'm exiling it regardless. And if I flicker it with that thing, the creature's no longer there, then it's exiled permanently. But I don't think that's how cards have been worded lately. I don't think this is how that will be worded. I think they're going to try to flip it, double exile, and then I'm going to get lost it. Get lost being an incredible draw here. Yeah, so they're going to double target. I'm going to get lost. And I'm going to auto pay this. Depends. Yeah. Yep. See? They're tokens, but if you see there, so this is not till it leaves the battlefield, it exiles it, and then it gives them back. I didn't know how it worked myself, so, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I wasn't sure. I think them saying nice also meant, like, they didn't know either, but... Wow, what a rip off the top. You can disguise that with this card? That's absurd. What? I didn't know that. I mean, I'm gonna farewell everything, so it doesn't really matter what they do here. Okay, never mind. I have nothing good here. I have to like let this happen, right? This is so frustrating. Or 8. Yes, 12 damage. Like I can't. Creatures and graveyards. And then they're just like on top. It's just like, all right, here, deal with this. Man, brutal. Can we find an answer? Update. Did find an answer. It's a very annoying answer, but we did find an answer. We have to do this, I think. And now we're both in top deck mode. Draw a land. I know you wanna. I know I deck thinned you like 3 times. Oh, you did. Fuck. All right. We need to rip lands out. We need to find one of our walkers. We gotta find a win con. Don't worry. I have 10 basics in this one stack. I mean, they have a lot of lands too. That's not to discredit the fact they have a lot of lands either. I don't have anything, right? It's 2 or less. Yeah, so we can just decline. I was playing demo field regardless. In turn. No! They found a win condition. I'm looking to deck then. This one, because I can. I know they're deck thinning, but I also need to deck thin. 2 Emperors, Elish Norn. Oh my gosh, dude. We have such bad cards to try to grind this game out. I mean, that's like a good one, but of course the creature in play is Vigilance. So it's not like even does anything right now. Oh my god, what? Who is playing that in their Angels list? That's insane. I respect it. Attack me. Yeah. In there. What if they like monster traced it or something? I'll put a hole in the ceiling. I'm not even joking. I hear.
Anyone who harms
You can
my
lightning strike it.
people
It's
must
okay.
end
I believe in you.
Keep watch for intruders.
Activate this immediately. On
We
bat.
must protect
This
the
one?
people.
Oh, this has Vigilance too. Why did I not attack with it? Team, give me a check. Come on now. Last token I made was with the big Emperor, and I was like, yeah, those ones don't have Vigilance, so I can't afford to do that. I say, I know you have Lightning Strike or something. All right, deck card. Don't be another Inspiring Overseer, I swear to you. Oh, snapped resolve. We get to block this. Just because it snapped resolve, we know we're clear. Maybe. Oh, it's a land. have to like exile my own creature.
Remember your training.
Yeah, I have to exile my own creature here to gain life. Because we'll gain exactly enough not to die to Archangel. Which is frustrating, but... Or like even Aurelia or something. There's so many hasters or burn spells that they could have that I have to exile my own creature. Obviously, in theory, if I could just exile theirs, it'd be great, but... No freaking way, dude. Oh, I'm getting so many things exiled. For like what? 4? Oh my god. In theory, I know they'll lose their overseer, but I think they should attack me. Okay.
Years of training for this.
Great draw by great draw. We can both play this game, opponent.
I made it just in time.
Weird. I could just flicker their Vindicator, right? And come back on their end step, but I would get my stuff. We do it this way. What?
I'll finish this here and now.
Sure. I forgot they go back to hand because that's reasonable. Like, why would they go back to hand? I mean, I'm just playing it. You can't block regardless. Get in there. Why would they go back to hand? That's so annoying. Like, hey, let me exile your stuff off the board. Bruh. Like, stop it. Oh my god. Just to think, if they would have hit me last turn, might have lethal here, but they wouldn't. Now this one, I get hit the Emperor for sure. Maybe they'll change their mentality and they'll hit me. What does this do? Flicker something? Yeah. Hey, they hit me. Crazy. I hate it here. Give me my card back again, please.
Have a nice trip.
That card, Smile. If you put a face down card again. Ah, you're toxic. Don't good game after that. Don't good game. So annoying, dude. They really just drew like the best card to get them out of that. That's the only card in their entire deck that with my board state at that time that they could ever have answered it, and they just ripped it, played it on the backside, and just exiled my entire board team. Ah, so frustrating. All right, we go first here. I'm gonna keep. I have 3 playable cards and a playable card kind of if it's convoked, so I can't wait to have all this removal and it just be blue-white control. It's how it generally looks. This is generally how it looks when you're playing against blue-white. You're like, oh, I have all this. And you're like, no, you don't. Tenacious Underdoggy. Sure, we want to exile Tenacious Underdog. Am I willing to just kind of ignore it for a turn? I don't really have to, but I'm willing to, I guess. Just to get this started. Deck then a little bit, you know? Work on it. There's not like a bat here stopping me from doing anything. Card a land. Bring that land back. Play this land. Here lower life, so they'll draw a card off this. So I'm not really thrilled about that. So I'll just lay down arms it, I suppose. And then play my wedding announcement. Work on crewing up my Vanquish the Horde, you know, get it kind of spicy here. Or not. Shelly. Not Shelly. 5. This will flip. I can just block and then wipe the board anyway. But I honestly rather just like march this and get lost this. I think so. Even though it sounds kind of crazy. Yeah, let's just get lost this. Draw. Man, how cool is it to know that Invoke Despair is not going to come off the top rope and suplex me at any point here? Well, they can't really attack in my 3-4 right now. There's no reason to get hasty with this march, I guess. Might play another Shelly, you never know. Oh no! Get rid of that too. No worries. I'll do that one for free. Do you have anything in here? No. And we can't quite get that restoration to come up. Frustrating. What? Why? I don't know if I agree with this card in the deck, for sure. Like, yeah, but look, I can grow it with your map. I think Preacher's not good enough. Disrespectful, then. Especially considering, like, I'll make you shuffle it away. Now your draw is weird. They actually leave it there? You think it's that good? Sure. They're like, I will get, you can get rid of my land. That's fine. Like, what happens if I answer this, opponent? Then what do you have? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe their hand's just full of lands. They play nothing. Off the board. I've had it. Sure. Uh-huh. No land play? Sure. I'm still kind of mind blown. They're just like, sure, you can get rid of my land. Flash. Spicy boy. Ah, they have cut down. What? Why am I flooding? I've thinned so much. I'm getting April Fool's by the AI DJ on Spotify right now. They just played some yodel. I don't know what that was. Oh yeah, here's a Shieldred. My favorite companion. Sure. I got nothing else going on. Come on, Austin. Just keep playing threats. Okay. Never mind, Austin. I have a good one.
Try to best me.
Alright, keep your death touch here, I guess. Even though I'm not thrilled about that. I have to do something. I I can't believe I just got April Fool's by my Spotify playlist. That's crazy. That's insane. The worst part is I know this is good because Cutdown can't get this, Go for the Throat can't get it, so they have to have a Bitter Triumph. But they're at 20. They can just take the damage. No, fair enough.
Happy to help. Drop it.
Brother, please stop with the lance. It's a 2-2. Well, 3-3, I guess. There's a preacher. Very scary.
Don't overthink.
That
things.
seems absurd. Now they have to block? Uh-huh. That draw, smile. That draw, very cool. The mentality has changed with the Liliana. What are you? Bro, they've had enough. They were so confident before. What happened? What? I'll maul too, opponent. Don't worry. It's fine. We could both be in this game together. I hit land for restoration, then I'm guaranteed to Paragon, so I guess like restoration just goes. Oh. Hashtag Gleeful Demolition, I dare you. I am the police. Pick him up. No? What do you mean no? I mean, yeah, I'll take my one. What could they have for 1 white mana? The best card. Pay 0. Confirm 0. Confirm 0. This one. 1 white mana counterspell. Very cool. Very cool. Well, we're looking good, team. Everything's looking great. I mean, that has no ETB. So my ambush viper right now is looking good. Yeah. Get in here. Sure. Sure. Dodges. They're reading Doorkeeper throw, it seems. Now, don't get me wrong, opponent. There's one big problem about what's happening. I have a lot of lands in my hand. It's not good. I thought I was doing well, but you're just like, you're like 1 card from doing anything. I mean, take the free block. No ETB? Sure. You know, it's okay sometimes. Let's keep playing these. Grow, expand, develop. Ass. Then we'll do a little shim block here. Makes sense. Gonjo? Hey, I'll take it. It's fine. You ready for me to break their heart? It's actually kind of tragic. But I'm gonna bring the planes back. I hate breaking their heart like this, but he's back. Game. I wouldn't say it because it felt like they mauled. They must have kept kind of a risky hand on that Gleeful Demolition. And I mean, us having March there probably blew all their plans out of the water, for example. But they didn't seem to have a payoff, though. They have 3 mana, and they didn't really do anything with it. So, other than a Gonjo creature, they must have flooded after, I would have to imagine. Very unfortunate for them, but Doorkeeper Thrall showing its value, and then March showing its value in this matchup. All right, so here we are with mono white control for creatures, pretty much. Against control like blue white, we are generally pretty unfavored in that match. from my experience, as these cards, for the most part, you can argue like this has some value and this has some value, and then maybe this. But like a lot of these cards are dead against a control matchup, and that is definitely kind of an annoyance when you play this list. Also, like this is definitely dead, and then Farewell is kind of in the middle there. But if you play against control, you can kind of see how bad the matchup will end up getting. However, you can technically demo field and fielder ruin them out of the game to some extent, depending what type they are. If they're playing Jeskai, their basics are thin. If they're playing Esper, their basics are thin. So you can definitely get there, especially using like the Paragon and the Restoration of Nganjo to rip these back out of the graveyard later in those games. You can just force their mana to be awkward and hope your Wedding Announcement, Emperors, or Big Emperor can actually grind you out of the game. So who really knows? But other than that, you can kind of see how effective we are against the aggro decks to some extent. Obviously, Mono Black almost took us for a ride. Angels ended up pulling it out, but we showed how strong it can be against the best aggro deck in the meta. And one of the changes I made very quickly was, in my best of 3 version, there are like 4 of these and 1 of these. I trimmed down to 2 of these, and I put another copy of this in. I put the temporary lockdowns in the main, which they were not previously, and went that route with it. I can kind of restack this here so we can kind of look at the deck in terms of its curve. But I got these lockdowns in. The Nganjos are great. The Paragons are great, but there's just a couple of thinning in the spots to make sure that we were good all around. And land-wise, we're at 25, which is now that I played a game and I drew a lot of lands after thinning a ton. Makes me angry, but it's fine. Not that bad. But a card that's like really good and definitely a benefactor in this deck is the Ossification along with the Restoration. You get to do the kind of trick with it, or a Doorkeeper Thrall. It's just like it's 3 mana, but when you get to do something with Ossification or Doorkeeper, it actually makes this generally be 1 mana, but it also go get you a land, so it kind of pays for itself in general by making sure you hit your land drops. It can play something from your graveyard for free or help you ramp, which is actually incredible. I mean, that last game you just saw us just we looked like we had 4 turns of lands, but instead we played in Nganjos and those lands went out of our hand immediately, and now we're just ready to do anything. I think the problem with this deck, and the main problem with this, and this is why I like Mono Black a little bit more in this aspect, is we do not have that big payoff card in terms of being like, all right, we've controlled the board. How do we get ahead? We are just really card for card, and I think we saw that in the Angels matchup where we are really just 1-for-1ing and relying heavily on this card to generate that value later, or the Wedding Announcements to generate the card draw value. Like, realistically, in terms of card draw, this is really all we have. It's not like even traditional true card draw either. It is just like, this can draw a card, but you have to have the creatures in play and attack. We don't play a ton of, so it has to be from itself, or like a Doorkeeper Thrall and a 1/1, or like maybe later a Paragon and a Thrall or something attacks and we draw a card. So that's not great. And this isn't even like a draw. It just grabs the land if we have them in the deck, which most likely we will. But we grab a land out and we do that. So that's definitely one of the big problems with this list, and not having something to either get a bunch of cards into our hand or take our opponent's cards. And the reason I said I like Mono Black when it comes to that is playing like Outrageous Robbery. Playing like this card in Mono Black is what makes it so good, because you basically have the same shell just in Mono White. But with this, and maybe this means, hey, dummy, go to Orzhov, like, and I probably will here, but target opponent exiles top X cards in their library face down. You may look at those cards and play them from long they remain exiled. And now we just can use our opponent's deck as a win condition, or just like a value deck in terms of just let's grab a ton of their cards, and now we have 7 cards to their 1 card or 0 cards, because we had that happen multiple times today, in which we accelerated and then kind of didn't do anything with that, or was just like play a Paragon, grab a Doorkeeper Thrall, I guess, and then hope that's good, in which a lot of times it is. Their opponent won't stick around too much if they're aggro especially. But these are some of the thoughts I have and some of the weird things that are kind of annoying when coming to play this list. But outside of that, I hope you all enjoy, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.